Good afternoon everyone present over here, respected teachers and my dear friends. Myself Ashitosh Kure Patil. I study in class 7 CMC Himalaya. Today we are not just remembering a war. We are remembering the heartbeat of India. We are remembering the heroes who gave their last breath for us. Today is the Kargil Vijay Divas, the day India won the Kargil War in 1999. But this victory came with tears, blood and unforgettable sacrifices. Let me take you back to the summer of 1999. While peace talks were going on between India and Pakistan, Pakistani soldiers and militants secretly crossed the line of control (LOC) and captured high-altitude Indian territories in the Kargil region of Jammu and Kashmir. They thought India would not notice. They thought the difficult mountain terrain would stop us. They thought Indian soldiers would be too late to respond. But they were wrong, because Indian soldiers may be calm, but they are never asleep. When the infiltration was discovered, India launched a powerful mission called Operation Vijay to drive out the enemies, to protect our land and to raise the Indian flag once again on every captured peak. The Kargil War was not fought in plains or deserts. It was fought high up in the Himalayas, over 18,000 feet above the sea level, where the temperatures were freezing, the air was thin, even breathing was difficult, the terrain was deadly, and yet our soldiers climbed those peaks, fought from below the enemy and won back every inch of our motherland. Can you imagine how much courage it takes to walk towards a hilltop bunker, knowing there are snipers above, there is no place to hide, and still saying, I will fight, even this is my last day. And that's what our Indian soldiers did again and again. They carried guns heavier than their body weight, wore gears soaked with sweat and blood, and still climbed those steep, deadly rocks, because for them, Bharat Mata was waiting at the top. Every Indian soldier said just one thing: either we'll come back victorious or we don't come back at all. And they kept that promise, even at the cost of their lives. Yes, we won, but this victory came at a terrible cost. 527 brave Indian soldiers laid down their lives. Thousands were injured. Each one had a family, dreams and a future. Some had just gotten married. Some had never seen their newborn children. Some wrote their last letters from the bunkers saying, if I don't return, tell my mother I fought like a lion. And yes, they did. Those weren't just soldiers. They were brothers, fathers, sons and friends. Their dreams didn't end here, but they were sacrificed for the dream of our nation. One such lion was Captain Vikram Batra, just 24 years old. He once said, I'll either come back hoisting the flag or wrapped in it. And he meant every word. He led one of the toughest missions of the war under heavy enemy fire. When one of his men was injured, he didn't think twice. He ran towards him, pulled him to safety and kept fighting. He didn't stop even when a bullet found him. His last words were, Jai Mata Di. He returned, but wrapped in the tricolor. His mother said, I sent my son as a boy, but India got back a hero. Captain Batra's code phrase during war was, Ye dil mange more. Because yes, his heart wanted more courage, more missions and more sacrifices. And that's the spirit of our Indian army. Now here comes the most heartbreaking moment. Do you know what was approaching just after the war? Raksha Bandhan. That one festival when every sister prays for long life and safety of her brother. Rakhis are tied with love and brothers promise to protect. But in July 1999, many sisters waited, Rakhis in hand, smiles on face, until the phone call came. Their brothers had kept their promise. They had protected their sisters, but they wouldn't come to tie that Rakhi again. Some Rakhis were tied to photographs. Some were buried along with their brothers. And in some houses, there was just silence. On that Raksha Bandhan, India cried. But India also stood proud because their brothers had not just only protected their sisters. They had protected every sister in our nation. There were many more warriors like Grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav, just 19 years old. Shot 3 times, but still climbed the cliff and destroyed enemy bunkers. Rifleman Sanjay Kumar, wounded, bleeding, but still didn't stop until he reached the enemy post. Lieutenant Anuj Mayer, Major Padmapani Acharya and so many more. Their courage was not just a duty, it was a devotion. Even before the war began, they had won over fear, over selfishness, and over the death itself. We remember this day not to show off our victory. We remember this day to honor the sacrifices behind this victory. To remind ourselves that freedom is not free. It is guarded every day by men and women in uniform. We live in peace today because someone stood in war yesterday. They gave their everything without asking anything in return. No fame, no awards, just one wish. Keep India safe. We may not wear a uniform, we may not carry a gun, but we can still serve this nation by being kind, by being honest, by being united, by becoming citizens that our soldiers would be proud of. Their promise. Now it's our time to keep their last words even in our last moments, which were कर चले हम फिदा जान वतन साथियों, अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों, वतन साथियों. Let us all rise and say from our hearts, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय. वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र. Thank you.